NCAA tournament if it continues, because that's just great basketball, but not when you're on the Sun Devils side.
So I'll try to break it down for any of our viewers that didn't watch the game. So UCLA, ASU was really in the driver's seat the entire game. To start the game, Remy Martin scored 8 points before UCLA even notched a point. So, they really got an 8-0 start. It looked like from the start they were going to win this game. UCLA clawed back. It was close, but it was 7 to 10 points close, pretty much the entire. And at the very end, UCLA got it close, but ASU held a 2-point lead with, I believe it was 48 seconds to go, and they called timeout. So I don't know how much time was left on the shot clock, but I believe it was 20 plus seconds. So the reasonable thing to do would be to let that run down and then get a late shot off. So UCLA has a limited amount of time and has to either hold it for the last shot to tie, or they do score, you get the last shot of the game. And so what happened is ASU wasted 9 seconds off the clock. So there was 39 seconds remaining. They missed, and immediately they were trying to go for the ball, but fouled UCLA. UCLA got sent to the line and shot 2 free throws and tied the game. So, ASU still had a shot to win, but they no longer held the last shot, which was a huge issue and major clock management issues. So, ASU missed their shot. UCLA came down and got fouled with like 0.9 or 1.1 or some minimal time left. And, UCLA hit 1 of 2 and they lost by 1. And like I said earlier, ASU led the game for, I believe, all but 30 or 31 seconds of that game. And, it was just the way this season's gone. They were without Bagley and Christopher, and this was really UCLA's tied for the lead in the Pac-12. So, this season's gone. They were without Bagley and Christopher, and this was really UCLA's tied for the lead in the Pac-12. So, it was really disappointing to not get that really good road win. And I wanted to, I wanted to see a win, because a win over one of these two top teams, that's a tough road trip. Number 1 and 2, or 1 and 1B in the Pac-12, that's a tough road trip. And to go 1-1 with a shorthanded roster is fantastic, let alone even with a healthy roster. So, I think if they got one, that really could have got some momentum going for this team heading into the Pac-12 tournament. I really wanted to see that. Luckily, they announced that these games are being made up. So a lot of these Pac-12 games are being made up for ASU. So that's a positive. But it was just really disappointing. They played so well, and, really both games were in it in both games. And to see them end both like that was just really disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, look, either way you look at this, it's going to be a very disappointing loss, basically leading the entire game until the last 1.7 seconds. That's going to be really tough on any team, for literally any game. But you know what? I think it's not the end of the world, for the Sun Devils. Like right now, I think they know that, the Pac-12 tourney is their only way of getting into the NCAA tournament. So, look, I think Bobby Hurley kind of just took that whole game and, took it into the locker room and looked at all the positives from it, because, losing to that team, it doesn't do anything. And winning to that team doesn't really do anything except,
confidence.
Yeah, confidence, and, maybe hurt UCLA and their, seedings and how that goes. But, I saw a lot of positives. Remy Martin is really firing on all cylinders right now. Like you said, coming out and taking an 8-0 lead in a game like that, that's huge. If they can build on that and, just keep that space kind of the whole game, which is what they did. I guess now it's just, really practicing on closing out the games. Like that's what Alonzo Verse said after the game. He just was really adamant that they needed to close these games out, because that's how these tough games are going to be throughout the rest of the season,
And that's why this game was so frustrating, is because, the Remy Martin was the one, Bobby Hurley called the timeout, and you think he would say, hey, wait until at least under 30 seconds so they have to rush a shot and we get the last shot. It's not what happened. And, Remy Martin shouldn't have to be told that by Bobby Hurley. It should be told, but shouldn't have to be told that. So, I kind of put them both in the wrong, but, lead the game with what was it, 25 points against UCLA and 30 against USC. So, he left that Southern California road trip with 55 points. So it's pretty great road series for him. And it's just really tough to see, the senior, the one that's been here for so long, that's seen, 3 NCAA or 2 NCAA tournaments now. It's tough to see him being the one that makes that mistake.
Yeah, but I mean, if anyone's going to take that shot at the end of the game in a close game like that, It's got to be Remy.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have taken the shot. I'm saying that he should have made a smarter decision and held onto the ball for a little bit longer. And I would love to know if Hurley drew up that play to try to get a quick one, then, Remy's out of the loop or off the hook there. But, it's just kind of, that's kind of where the season, that one ending of the game was kind of where the season was put into a nutshell. It's like, they have the talent to compete with these top teams, and it's just some sort of shot in the foot or error or, it's been injuries or just something doesn't go their way, and the other team seems to snatch it, where when ASU has these opportunities, they haven't been able to. And I think it's been a theme for them all season long.
Yeah, well, luckily it doesn't mean that much in the long run. I mean, this season's kind of already put to boot. All we've got left is the Pac-12 tournament, and that's what we're going to be focusing on, getting the team healthy. We didn't have Bagley, we didn't have Josh Christopher for that game.
No, absolutely.
A lot of pressure would have been off of Remy Martin's shoulders had he had a lot more help, just offensively at least.
Well, I know. I understand that obviously the two of our three best players were playing, but it's not like they weren't in a position to win, and it's not like UCLA drained threes. It was mental errors that ASU lost. They do have a few games before the Pac-12 tournament to kind of tighten these screws up and hopefully get Bagley and Christopher healthy. So there's a lot of questions. We'll talk more about Bagley and Christopher in the next segment, but Jalen Graham, I've been glowing on him. His growth from the start of the year to the end of the year against UCLA. By the way, this is a starting center, and I am not making up the stat line. 7 minutes played, fouled out. The starting center played 7 minutes and fouled out. Like, if you said that before the game without Bagley and Christopher, I would have said we are screwed. We lose by 20. And the fact that we were in that position was incredible. And that's why, a mental error, it's different if a team comes down and drains a three and beats you on a half-court buzzer beater. It's like, okay, that sucks. But, hats off to them. A mental error, when you lose on a mental error, how many times have we seen that, with the football team and making a run on 3rd and 10 or something like that? Just a mental error and not the best decision-making has hurt this program and, this athletic department in general.